Stacey, federal investigators say they found more than 2 years worth of checks going into Louis Abate's bank account, money that was supposed to pay the rents for Section 8 families. Seventh graders don't always like each other, but wanting your classmates dead, that certainly takes things up a notch. Police say the car ran through this fence and hit some trees before 2 passengers were ejected. Now, some showers this morning, but still shaping up to be a beautiful day. Here's a check of your hyper-local forecast. Yes, Omar Roan is a wanted man at the accused killer escaped from police custody on Saturday. Has been on the run ever since, and police now want your help to find him. Welcome to News 12 Long Island. It's Sunday, May 20th. I'm Chandler, and these are your top stories. Stakes are even higher at Belmont now that a triple crown is on the line. I'm on deck right now, so I have this life jacket on, but even this might not be enough to save someone from a drunk boater driving recklessly on the water. Researchers may be one step closer to diagnosing autism with a brain scan. Aaron Elise, it has calmed down a great deal here at Theodore Roosevelt Park now that the rescue effort is over. 3 people confirmed dead, and all 3 reportedly are children. They were on board a boat last night with several family members, about 2 dozen passengers in all, out to enjoy last night's fireworks show when that boat capsized just after 10 o'clock. And News 12 has been on the scene reporting on this story since it first broke last night. Now, we do understand there was a lot of boat traffic out on the Sound, and a lot of those boaters came to the rescue of many of those passengers who had been thrown overboard as a result of this accident, but soon became clear that not every passenger had been accounted for, and that's when the search efforts were stepped up. Divers were brought in from the Coast Guard, from Nassau and Suffolk Police, as well as NYPD, as they looked for those 3 passengers. But it became clear, though, that so much had happened just so quickly that in spite of this intensive search, that those passengers just did not stand a chance.
The first person was found shortly after the distress call came in. The 2 others were located in the vessel. It took some time for our Marine Bureau divers to get them out of the vessel. It could be a combination of factors. It could be a combination of the weather. We had some severe weather pass through this evening. It could be a combination. There was a tremendous amount of boats, being 4th of July. It could have been a wake from another vessel. That's all under investigation right now.
So the other passengers on board this boat, again, there were about 2 dozen passengers on board this boat. None of their injuries are considered serious. So now that the rescue effort is over, police are now switching gears as this becomes a police investigation to determine just why this boat capsized. One issue could be weight. We do understand that this boat, a 34-foot Silverton, normally carries about 15 passengers, and there were a lot more passengers on board this boat last night. Also, life jackets. Many eyewitnesses say they did not see passengers wearing life jackets. Just how that factored in is something that police will be looking into. Of course, we will be on this story as it develops, staying on this story and bringing you all the information as soon as we get it. That's the latest here in Oyster Bay. We're live. I'm Chandler, News 12 Long Island. Elise.
Thank you, Ty.
The 31st miner is on his way to the top. That leaves just 2 miners trapped below. This will take at least 33 hours, but it's been moving at a remarkable pace, and we should expect to see that final miner well before midnight. Miner after miner after miner. Rescuers keep pulling miracles to the surface. By midday, more than half of the 33 trapped men had reached safety, embracing loved ones they hadn't seen for 69 days. After the 17th miner emerged, the door handle on the Phoenix rescue capsule broke. Crews spent about 20 minutes making repairs, then sent it back down the narrow 2,000-foot escape hole to load up the next miner. It was a minor glitch in what has been a remarkably smooth operation.
All the Chileans, and probably people around the world, have learned a lesson of unity, of courage, a lesson of faith, a lesson of hope.
Chile is sending live video of these extraordinary reunions around the world. Officials had planned to restrict some of the images, but abandoned those plans, the rescue going so well. So far, the miners all appear to be in good health, including the oldest, 63-year-old Mario Gomez. He hugged his wife, then dropped to his knees and prayed. The fittest of the miners, Florencio Avalos, made the first journey to the surface. Mario Sepulveda came out second. He passed out rocks from inside the mine and fired up the crowd. All the rescued men are being taken to a nearby hospital for medical evaluation. These miners were trapped underground longer than anyone on record. Rescuers hope to have them all out by tonight. This entire operation is moving well ahead of schedule. The Chilean health minister says some of the minors will likely leave the hospital sometime tomorrow. One is being treated for pneumonia and 2 others need dental work, but on the most part, all the men are in relatively good health. Live in New York, I'm Chandler. Now back to you. Yes, in Glen Cove, the damage is pretty much limited here to Morgan Park. You can see the park is closed and off limits to the public. This storm, though, it moved fast, but it packed a punch, putting 2 people in the hospital.
And I was frantic. I was screaming, I was frantic.
Just released from the hospital, Francesca Friedman was caught in the middle of this storm with wind so intense it snapped trees in 2.
A big branch came down, boom, hit the top of the car. The windows blew out, the rear view mirrors blew off the car, and I was stuck inside the car.
Francesca hit her head, but otherwise is okay. She wasn't the only one hurt. Witnesses say 4 people ran for cover under this gazebo, but their shelter didn't survive. One of them was taken to North Shore Manhasset, reportedly with a leg injury.
I've never in my life seen anything like it, ever seen the way that the water was almost like a water spout had come up off the water.
Morgan Park is now littered with tree limbs and debris. City officials say they believe a microburst caused all of this damage.
It was like lightning, like you see in the Stephen King movies. It had to be like a mini hurricane. That's all I could describe it, like for 3 minutes. And it did all this destruction in about that amount of time.
It looked like a hurricane. It was really, really bad. It was spinning around.
Crews have started clearing out the downed trees and broken limbs. The park is now closed to the public, but many showed up anyway to get a good look at the destruction. Glen Cove Mayor Ralph Swazi went in for a closer look to assess the damage.
We have a lot of work to do now besides rebuilding the gazebo, but taking down the dangerous trees and replanting even more trees. We'll be in here tomorrow and tonight and through the week.
And many in this community are just devastated by the destruction of the gazebo. It has stood as a symbol of Glen Cove for the last 80 years. Now, the roof is made of copper, and so Mayor Swazi says there will be an officer from the auxiliary police to stand watch and keep a lookout on that around the clock, at least for tonight. That's the latest here in Glen Cove. I'm Chandler, News 12 Long Island. Lee?
All right, yep, some precious metal.
Researchers may be one step closer to diagnosing autism with a brain scan. Using MRI, doctors discovered certain areas of the brain where the left and right hemispheres don't communicate with each other. The areas are associated with attention, facial recognition, and social skills that people with autism struggle with. Scientists are launching larger studies to confirm the results. A new study finds many patients with terminal cancer are still getting common screening tests that are very unlikely to be beneficial. Researchers followed a group of people with stage 4 colorectal cancer and found almost 10% of the women were given mammograms and 21% of the men were tested for prostate cancer. Doctors say the tests are not necessary in people with only a few years to live, and cancer screening guidelines should be re-examined for terminal patients. And how your food tastes may depend on what you hear. In a new study, researchers had people eat in both a quiet setting and again in a noisy area. When asked how the food tasted, people in the noisy environment said it had less flavor. Researchers are planning studies to figure out why sound affects taste. And those are some of the day's top health stories. I'm Chandler, CBS News, New York. Welcome to News 12 Long Island. It's Sunday, May 20th. I'm Chandler, and these are your top stories. Stakes are even higher at Belmont now that a Triple Crown is on the line. I'll have another overtook the favorite, Bodemeister, at Preakness. And if he does a repeat at Belmont Park, it will be the first Triple Crown since 1978. Elmont businesses are gearing up for what will certainly be a big boost, as all eyes will be on Belmont in 3 weeks. A 4-year-old Amityville girl proved she was paying attention to her preschool's lesson about what to do when you are in trouble. She calmly called 911 after her younger brother choked on a piece of chicken and passed out. Police arrived and treated the brother, who is doing fine. And former American Idol contestant Merrick native Robbie Rosen takes the stage at the Nutty Irishman in Farmingdale for Students Rockin' for a Reason. The concert benefits Long Island's 2-day walk for breast cancer. Tickets are available at the door. And it's just beautiful out. Let's get our first check at your hyper-local forecast.